today.
We are lost.
We're live?
Come on, come on.
Okay, Most High in Christ. Give it a second. All right. Boom. Sounds good.
Come on, sir.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna go to 2nd Ezra 7 and 6.
Come on, sir.
Baba Kasha, if somebody could grab that. You have a microphone? Do you have a microphone? He needs a mic.
Come on.
All the mics are up. The wireless mics, where they at? They're up here or down there?
They should be in the
Let's see. Check.
Unless they in the
Check.
the crate. There's no over this.
Check.
It may be in the vans.
This is not it. We got a whole gang of mics up here. Looks what? Check. Nope.
I shot. This guy. We're gonna deal with this now.
Check. Nope. Let's try this one again. Check. Nope. Check. That's why. It's one of these. Where's the power button for this?
Power button will be.
Let's see. Check. Nope. Let's try this. Check. Whoa. Hey. Check. There we go. Beautiful. There you go. All right. We back at it. All right, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 6.
Come on, card. Let's make sure everybody see this.
2nd Ezra 7, verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things.
And it's full of all good things. You understand? You want to look at this city as our inheritance. You want to look at this city, you understand, that's filled with all good things. As this is, think of this as the path of what it takes in order for you to get to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Think of this as, you know what I'm saying, what we are supposed to inherit if we endure to the end. What we're supposed to get, you understand, if we make it, you understand, until Yahweh Shah cracks that sky and them chariots pull up. Good?
The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
The entrance is what?
Narrow.
So now this is what we know, you understand? We know for a fact that it is the narrow path, you understand, that you need to take in order to get to life, not the wide gate, you understand? And that's why it's like one thing you got to know is that the Lord is not with numbers, you understand? Never was, never will. Christian church got more numbers than a little bit. One of the things you understand, and shout out to Captain Yataza, I got this argument from him, but you know what I'm saying? You think about how many people have to be sealed for Christ to return? 144,000. You understand? How many Christians are there on the planet? 2 billion?
Right.
You understand? Damn near even the people who don't go to church are Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to go to church to be Christian.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even the people who are not quote unquote religious, their concept is nearly identical to God of that of the Christian church, because Christianity is coming out the pores. Right. You understand? So that's the wide gate. What is the narrow gate? You understand? The narrow gate is the path to life. And this gate, this path that you have to take in order to make it to this city, to receive inheritance. Read it again.
The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
It's set in a dangerous place. You understand? Coming in the truth, you got to comprehend is that there's a very fine line that you have to walk in order to stay here, in order to endure to the end. Read on.
like as if there were a fire on the right hand,
So there's a fire on the right side. You know what I'm saying? Good.
and on the left a deep water.
Deep water, like where them, you understand, billionaires went imploded at, down in the depths of the sea. You know what I'm saying? His was even wilder. So the same day that I find out that these cats imploded, you know, like the billionaire who got Virgin, who owned Virgin Records, he opened up something for people who want to pay like some astronomical number to go to space. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they could either, you know what I'm saying, implode down below or they could explode up above. Like
Right.
it ain't, they just, you know, pick which way you want to die. You know what I'm saying? So they selling tickets now into space. And I'm like, damn, they ain't learned nothing. You know what I'm saying? But point being is, if you fall, that's your ass. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So what you gotta know is that you have to lock into this truth. You have to get grounded. You have to get deeply rooted if you want to be able to last there, that nothing is going to shake or uproot you in any way, shape, or form, because as you're walking down this narrow path, it's set in a dangerous place. Like, you look at the world around us, there's death everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell y'all how many friends I lost. You know what I'm saying? Who got shot? XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Who's in jail? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't choose life. We continuously choose death, and that's all that there is around us. There's nothing but death. So that path to life, that path to our inheritance, to where we want to make it, is extremely narrow. Go ahead.
Salaki. And one only path between them both.
There's only one path to the truth. There's only one path to the kingdom. There ain't no, oh, I'm going to take this way, you take that way, and we going to meet at the end. You going to die somewhere along the way. You ain't on this. There's one. How many paths are there?
One only.
There's one only. Y'all know what only means? You understand? It means this is the only exception. Everything else is obsolete. You can't turn around and act like, oh, God's here, or there's a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth there, and we all got the truth, and we got part the truth. Nah, if you only got a part the truth, you ain't got the truth. You gonna tell me Ezekiel only had a part of the truth? You gonna tell me Moses only had a part of the truth? Peter, Paul? Oh, so you don't believe the prophets are back in the earth today? That's why you walking around groping blind. There's only one path. Good.
Between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once.
Like, the path is so narrow, only one person can fit at a time. You understand? And that's why, I be understanding as to, you know, like when the scriptures, when it says he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High, you know, that means not everybody knows about it. That means not everybody makes it. The truth is not made for everybody to understand or to comprehend. That's not what this is. Christianity makes you believe that. Christianity brainwashes you to believe that anybody who picks up the Bible is a man of God. You understand? That's not how this joint works. Like, you know, the Bible is our constitution. Bible is our law. How many people know the law? Like the American law. How many people comprehend the justice system? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for you to be able to go and become a lawyer, you have to go to years of studying for arbitration. You know what I'm saying? It's law school. You got to pass a bar. You have to go through an examination. It's a completely different language. Bible's not for peons. Bible's not for your average person to just pick up and understand it. That's not how it's written. It's written for the government to look at this and to be able to interpret it and to teach it properly. It's not for every single, you know what I'm saying, cat to pick it up. Same thing with the truth. The truth was quoted as a song. Who was able to learn that song? 144,000.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's not a lot of people.
Right.
There's 7 to 8 billion people on the planet right now. You do the percentage on what 144,000 is out of that percentile. It's like less than 1%. What are we even talking about here? Read on.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
So if you're not willing to go through the dangers, you understand, if you're not willing to, you understand, to travel this road, if you're not willing to deal with the suffering that comes with the truth, how are you going to make it to your inheritance? How are you going to make it to this great city? How are you going to make it to what the Lord has in store for you? The problem is people want the Lord to do everything for them. They don't want to actually fight. You understand? Everybody loves Yahweh Shah till it hurts. You understand? So they got to go through a little pain till they get evicted. You understand? Till their significant other is acting up or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like people think like the truth is a lucky rabbit's foot.
Right.
Like a shoehorn. You hang above the doorway or something. That's superstition.
Right.
We ain't religious or superstitious. That's not how this thing works. Read on.
And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Even so is Israel's portion. That's how we get our inheritance. That's how we make it to the kingdom. You walk, there's only one path. You understand? With danger and death on both sides. On the right side, it said there was a fire. On the left side, it said there was a deep water. Ain't no other way around this. Ain't no, you understand, comfortable way in order to make it through the kingdom. Read on.
Because for their sakes I made the world.
For what?
For their sakes I made the world.
Man, everything inside of this world was made for Israel. You got to understand this planet is ours. And that's why the Lord's so upset with us. That's why the Lord's so angry with us. Like you see, like you take a look at everything around us that's pagan. You know what I'm saying? Like, marathons are pagan. Like running that 26 miles, you know what I'm saying? Like that goes back to some cat who ran from Marathon to Greece. And he ran like 25 to 26 miles. And he dropped dead when he arrived. And now every year people, to show their might, like worship this cat, you know what I'm saying? And started running that marathon. You got cats that they're going to load up on nothing but spaghetti and running, you know what I'm saying, in order to run that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to show up faithfully every single year to see that ball drop, no matter how cold it is outside on New Year's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to decorate that tree. The lights will cut off, whatever it is, in order to celebrate Christmas. But you understand, everything I'm saying is idol worship. Everything I'm saying is temporary. Everything I'm saying is something that was made up by man. We serve the one true living God, and we can't serve him properly. But when you a pagan, you're going to serve that faithfully. And that's why the Lord's so angry with us. You know what I'm saying? He's so angry because them Muslims are more dedicated to a rock. Them Buddhists are more dedicated to a statue. You understand? Christians are more dedicated to a white man on a crucifix, right, than we are to the one true living God. Read on.
And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done.
You understand? Adam transgressed my statutes. This is how you know that Adam had the law since the beginning.
Right.
That's how you know what the breath of life was. You know what I'm saying? They be acting like, oh, what law? Listen, anything that the Lord commands you is law. But the Lord gave him the breath of life. You understand? Adam transgressed the law of statutes. And look what happened now. Read on.
Then were the entrances of this world made narrow.
Then was the entrances of this world made narrow, meaning what? It became extremely difficult to make it back home. You understand? Why can't we get back to the garden? Oh, you mean to tell me because there's a cherub there with a flaming sword in the spirit? Right. You understand? People be saying, oh, where is that? It's in the spirit. Go back to your land. Why can't you go there? Why can't you get back to the garden? Oh, because there's a flaming sword there, warding you off, preventing us from returning back to the estate that we're supposed to be in. Because the paths of this world was made narrow. It is not a light thing to be able to find the truth. You understand? Like Israelites are known for being in New York. You know, the first time I saw a camp, I was in one. My first camp, I was 22. I went 22 years on earth without knowing that Israelites existed. You understand? Now imagine you were actually born in Africa. Imagine you were born in Germany or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna find this? How you gonna come home? You better thank the Lord for the internet for now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it caused stumbling blocks from weak men who couldn't endure. That's what fake Israelite groups are. Fake Israelite groups are the men who couldn't endure.
Right.
Or the men who couldn't deal with pain. Or the men, like you know, the one Israelite group you love is the one you in charge of.
Right.
Read on.
Full of sorrow and travail.
Full of what?
Sorrow and travail.
And that's what happens. Like, you look inside this world, you look at all the sorrow, all the travail, everything that we have to go through. It's because the Lord made this world for our sakes. And what did we do? We took it for granted. Read on.
They are but few and evil, full of perils.
You understand? And now when it's talking about evil, it's talking about the actions inside the world. You know, evil isn't always, ooky spooky. Evil sometimes is punishment from the Lord. You understand? Like the knowledge of knowing good and evil, since, you know what I'm saying, we on the topic of what happened with Adam, is like if I tell you don't stick nothing in the electrical socket, and then you do, the evil is you getting electrocuted, is you getting shocked. That's the penalty, the punishment that comes along with it. Now you got the knowledge of both good and evil. You got the knowledge of how good it is to not be shocked, and the evil that comes with, you understand what happens when you are shocked. Read on.
And very painful. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and short.
You understand? The entrances of the elder world were wide and short. There was less distractions. There was less evil. It was easier to see. It was easier to find. There wasn't so many stumbling blocks. Good?
And brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
So if you ain't willing to walk this path and to find your way back home, you are never going to get what's laid up for you, which is that inheritance inside that city. You understand? And y'all got to think about inheritance. You got we don't understand inheritance. We don't even think about it. It's like, imagine having a piece of land, acres of it, and no one can ever take it from you. It'll always be passed down to your children. You understand? Fruit, vegetation, all that just naturally grows on it. You can plant whatever you want on it, irrigate it however you want. You understand? Pure freedom. No one's coming to evict you. Nobody's coming to treat you like Seneca Village and claim eminent domain. You understand? And that land is located in a place that it's your people. You understand? If there was public transportation in that city, ain't no heathens coughing on you next to you on the train, on the bus, or nothing like that. Right. Looking at you funny, stinking up the car. You know what I'm saying? Picking their damn feet, whatever the case may be. Like, it's a literal curse to be around these heathen. Right. We ain't supposed to be mixed in like this. You go to China, who's the majority? Chinese.
Right.
You go to Arabia, who's the majority? The Arabians. You understand? Like, you're supposed to be the majority where you live, not the minority scattered amongst all these other nations. Like, that is a curse in itself. To me, that's one of the worst things ever, just being mixed around with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember the Passover in Florida? I don't think you were there. You were there? How amazing was it?
It was glorious.
You know why? Because it felt like it was only us at that hotel.
Right.
Because we had the whole spot to ourselves. That's like, imagine a whole city like that. Imagine a whole city and everybody in there follows the law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody there believes what you believe. Everybody there is courteous. No one there is going to try to sell you drugs, molest your children, rob you, sleep with your wife. And now imagine you own that land. A portion, we don't really own the promised land. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're sojourners and strangers with the Lord. The Lord is the landlord. But imagine no one could come and evict you. Imagine even if you fell in decay, you know what I'm saying, that when Jubilee comes around, they have to give you your land back. There's never a time where it could leave your family. Brother, that's heaven.
Right.
That's heaven on earth. Read on.
Now, therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal?
You understand? Meaning, like all we are is mortal. What are we trying to get to? We're trying to get to that immortal. You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to get back to that estate. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have to be born dead. That we don't have to turn around and try to seek out the truth ever again. Read on.
Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present?
You understand? Like what is it that we're so distracted by? You know what I'm saying? That means so much to us that we ain't focused on, you understand, receiving what is to come. Like you got to understand, like it's like General Muhammad explained this a long time ago, that everybody in the truth, it's damn near like, you know, everybody's in the stocks and crypto now. Like it's damn near like picture you building the stock inside. What the hell? Picture you being, you understand, inside the stock inside of your company. You know what I'm saying? And everything that you do inside the truth builds that stock up. You know what I'm saying? And now, when the time of the kingdom comes, you built your own Fortune 500 company. You ready to sell out. You know what I'm saying? Now your inheritance is millions upon millions of dollars. That's what it's like working in the truth towards your inheritance. That you're building up your resume, building up your labor, flipping them pennies. That when you receive that inheritance, it's like Google came and bought you out. It's like when Apple bought Beats for $3 billion. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Then answered I and said, O Lord that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things.
You understand? But it's the righteous that inherits these things. It's the righteous, you understand, that receives these. Go ahead.
But that the ungodly should perish.
But that the what?
The ungodly should perish.
So the ungodly is going to perish. You understand? And it's why it's like, it blows my mind how like Christians try to police righteousness. You ever notice like how hard Christians fight for you to not keep the law?
Right.
Like they act like you're wrong for not eating pork.
Right.
Wait, you mean I'm wrong for obeying God? And you think you gonna keep the kingdom? You think you the keeper of it? You think you the one that's gonna lead us home? You failed. The Christian church failed our community. You understand? And they failed our community to a point that, like I said, that's where fake Israelite groups come from. Fake Israelite groups come from men who didn't endure and who believe in Christianity and the idea that like we are the world. Like anybody is a man of God. There's only one path. There's only one truth. There's only one faith. There's only one baptism. It's not how this thing works. Give me Mark 4:16. Baba Kasha.
Mark 4:16. And these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground.
You know what? Let's go down a little lower. Start at 11 or 12.
Verse 11. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God.
Unto you it is given to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of God. You understand? Meaning, who's Christ talking to? You might have to read a verse up.
The disciples.
Maybe start at 9.
And he said unto them, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
He that has ears to hear, meaning this hearing is talking about understanding. Everybody got ears. All of us got ears. He's saying, understand this. Go ahead.
And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked
They that were about him with the 12. So you got the 12, and then which means the 12 is like the highest ranking. They that are also about him are those that's trying to follow Christ that's not about the 12. You understand? So now they're all sitting there and they trying to understand the truth. They're trying to understand the parable that Christ taught. Go ahead.
asked of him the parable.
So a parable is a story that's told in a metaphorical fashion. Good.
And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God.
Unto you. Who's you?
The people that were about And with the 12.
The people who were about him with the 12. That's exactly who the you is. Go ahead.
But unto them that are without,
That them that are without what?
outside of
Outside of the body, outside the camp, outside the truth. But unto them, unto you it's given. Why? Because you follow me. You serve me. But unto they that are without, go ahead.
all these things are done in parables.
All these things are done in parables. Y'all think that this is for everybody? Oh, you think everybody is going to understand this parable? Good.
That seeing they may see and not perceive.
Seeing, they going to see something. They ain't going to even understand what they saw. You want this is why you could show somebody dead in the face. Look right here. They can't perceive what you're trying to show them.
Right.
Good.
And hearing they may hear and not understand.
Hearing, they going to hear something and they are not going to comprehend it. It's not a light thing for you to understand the truth. Like, the Bible was written so the majority of people would not understand it. It wasn't written for you to get. You understand? Like, Christ taught in parables, so there was people that were around who would not comprehend it. Read on.
Lest at any time they should be converted.
Lest at any time you actually be converted, that you change your ways, go ahead.
And their sins should be forgiven them.
And your sins would be forgiven. What does that tell you about the people that were not receiving this?
That they weren't meant to.
They weren't meant to, which means what?
The Lord didn't want them to.
The Lord didn't want them. One of the hardest lessons to learn inside this truth is that the Lord does not want everybody. You know, scripture says many are called and few are chosen. This ain't for everybody. This ain't we are the world. This ain't let's all join hands together in a prayer circle. Christ taught parables so there were people who would not understand, so that their sins would not be forgiven. Which means there's more to the truth than just listening. You understand? There's more than the truth that Christ was teaching. Who was given the understanding though? Them who was the closest to him. Those who actually served him. How many people were out there listening though? Read on.
And he said unto them, know ye not this parable? And how then will you know all parables?
Know ye not this parable? How you gonna know anything if you can't understand what it is that I just told you? But you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna break it down for y'all, because unto you it's given to understand the mysteries. The mystery ain't for everybody. The mystery ain't for everybody to understand. A mystery is, damn, we trying to figure this out. We don't know. Good.
The sower soweth the word.
So in that parable, it was talking about a sower who cast seed out. Some of the seed landed on stony ground. You understand? Some of it landed on loose soil. Some of it landed on good soil. So now what he's trying to explain to you is the sower soweth the word. This is somebody who's teaching. You understand? And he goes out and now he teaches the word. Teaches this record. Good?
And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
Brother, you're gonna see this at camp all the time.
Right.
This is literally what happens at camp. You teaching and somebody's listening. And then right when they in the middle of it, they friend tugs on their arm to pull them away. Now, there was something rare that happened. It was while Paratazar was teaching this last camp. There was a sister who came in the front of the camp. She had a homegirl with her. What her homegirl do?
Right.
She said, let's go. She tugged on her arm. And you know what she said? I want to hear. She wanted to listen. You know what I'm saying? She now, What you saw though, normally what happens is that girl would have got pulled away.
Right.
That's this seed. You know what I'm saying? That's this seed right here. When somebody comes up and starts talking, you know what else happens? I wonder if this happened to you yet. While you was at camp, right, holding post, somebody come up to you and say, you don't really believe this, do you? Not yet. Happened to you before? Happened to me when I was a young man. Somebody's gonna come up to you and say, you really believe this?
Right.
Because that's Satan trying to cast doubt in you, trying to test your gangster, trying to see if you really believe this or not, trying to snatch the word from you.
Right.
Remove the seed before it germinates and takes root. Read on.
And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground.
So now then you got some that land on stony ground. Go ahead.
Who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness.
Oh, they hear it with gladness. You understand? The truth sound, oh man, the truth sounds so amazing. I can't believe this. Jesus is black. Right. Oh my God. I never knew this my whole life. Go ahead.
And have no root in themselves.
But they got no root. They can't get to the root because the ground is stony. How do you get past the rock? Good.
And so endure but for a time.
They endure for a time. They come to a couple of classes. They stand outside the camp every now and then. Maybe they come to a cookout. You know what I'm saying? And then you never see them again.
Right.
You never hear from them. You understand? Good.
Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
You're in a cult. Your beard, you grew your beard. You a Muslim? You understand? Sisters, forget it. You gonna share your man? You gonna let your man get another woman? Someone is going, you sound like a pick-me. Someone coming to persecute you. And you can't take the pain because everyone loves Yahweh Shah till it hurts. The persecution, you're in a cult. You really believe that? You know, you can die on those corners. Somebody gonna say something to you. You understand? To try to ward you off. You really think if something happens on them corners, them brothers is gonna be with you? They're gonna say something, some kind of persecution, or maybe, who knows, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your woman threatened to leave you. I done seen brothers come in here and they woman said, you understand, it's me or the Akim.
Right.
And I can't say, I saw that brother one time after that. And he was a civilian. He chose her. Man, if you think I'm leaving this work for some box, never in life.
Right.
For you, okay, bye. I'll see you later. Listen, any of my 19 wives, I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? But any of them leave me, you know where I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be right here Tuesday. You know where I'm gonna be Thursday? Right here. You know where I'm gonna be Saturday? Camp.
That's right.
You understand? That's what's gonna happen. You ain't gonna find me nowhere else. What you think? You think I'm gonna give up God for you? You go back to the church. You go back to Christmas dinner where your mama and auntie fight every year and then don't talk to each other till next year. You understand? Y'all go do that. You're gonna give up God for what? A barbecue and fireworks on the 4th? And that's what blows my mind, even about the people who celebrate Juneteenth. They had the cookout on Juneteenth and they had the cookout in red, white, and blue on the 4th.
Right.
You don't know what to do. It's like the more red, white, and blue a sister wear, the bigger the hoe she about to be on the 4th. Real talk. You think I'm playing? She ready. Good?
And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lusts of other things entering in, choke the word.
So now this is a cat who comes inside here, becomes an officer, sticks around for a little bit. You understand? And then the world chokes the truth out of him. He gonna get distracted, think I gotta go get more money. I need this job. I need this. I need the XYZ, start this business. You understand? Whatever the case may be. And you could be a business owner. You understand, you can go out and do a million different jobs. That means you got to neglect the truth. You kidding me? You know how many jobs I lost because of the truth? I'm not shaving my beard.
Right.
I'm not. I'll trim it on my own time though, because it's hot in the summer. You know what I mean? Something like that. I ain't doing it because you told me to. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be looking in the mirror sometimes and I'll be like, man, I want to cut my hair. And really just because it's like a nuisance. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, bro. But it's tough, right? You feel me? It ain't easy to maintain. But then I think about, it's like a sign of anti-establishment. You know what I'm saying? It's our culture. It's like a declaration of freedom. So I keep it. You know what I'm saying? I keep it because that's what they want. What's the first thing they do when you're in the military? Cut your hair.
Right.
What do they try to do when you get locked up? Cut your hair. What do they try to tell you got to do to succeed in the business world? Cut your hair. Why I got to trimest my ways to seek love? That ain't happening. Read on.
And it becometh unfruitful.
It becometh what?
Unfruitful.
It becometh unfruitful. Meaning you're only fruitful if you're in the body. You're only fruitful if you're receiving the mysteries and working and serving under Christ. Now you become unfruitful because who you serving? You're chasing after those riches. You're chasing after those lusts. Because it choked out of you. You grew. You got a little bit of roots. But then it came and choked out of you. I've seen it so many times. And it's usually like 99.999% of the time, it's going to be over some broad, some evil woman in the world.
Right.
I ain't really see a brother leave outside of that. Maybe one cat I seen leave for money. Everybody else that I saw leave was over some woman. Some broad that just couldn't stand him being with the Akim. Read on.
And these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it and bring forth fruit, some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100.
Because what's your job once you come in here? It's for you to develop. Once you grow, once you develop, what you supposed to do? Bring fruit. You're supposed to be fruitful. You understand? You supposed to have somebody come up to you and say, man, I heard you teach and it made me put weed down.
Right.
You supposed to have somebody come up to you and say, man, you know, I was in the world, man. I came in the truth because of you. And you know what you're supposed to say? It ain't me, Ak, it's the Lord.
Right.
But you supposed to be the vessel. You supposed to be the tool. You know what I'm saying? Like you supposed to multiply. You're not supposed to come and listen. They want to turn around. They say anti-brotherhood things like you're a follower. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to follow before you can lead. That's how it goes. That's how you learn the protocol. Where you just started as the CEO at your company, or you started in the mailroom. You understand? What you just started as a master electrician or plumber, or did you start as a helper? Go get this tool. Go get that. You understand? Everybody starts at the bottom.
Right.
And you pay your dues and work your way up until you become elite, until you start to comprehend, until you start to understand, until you become seasoned. That's how this thing works. And then once you become seasoned, now you go and you plant, you harvest, you become fruitful. That's your job in here. The job is to be a leader. The job is to see, and it's not going to be for everybody. But the point is, everybody has a role to play. You know what I'm saying? But the goal is to expand, to push this further. Maybe your gift is security. what are you going to do to make sure that there's no security breaches? You know what I'm saying? Maybe your gift is, maybe you're an amazing artist. What are you going? We should have the sickest flyers in the world then if you're an artist. You understand? Like whatever it is that's your inherent ability, you should be utilizing it. Once again, Shaw goes to performances in Atlanta and here and there, fully, you understand, fringes dripping, you know what I'm saying, headband, all that. And screaming Kwam Yasha Allah in the crowd. Who's the power? You understand? Letting everybody know what it is that we do. Brothers like, damn, what y'all do? XYZ, boom, boom, boom. Because the goal is to be fruitful. What was the first order that Yahweh Shah gave? Anybody know?
Be fruitful and multiply.
No. That's a Yahweh Shah. What is the first order that Yahweh Shah gave? Follow me and I shall make you fishers of men. It was to fish. Because you're supposed to go out and be fruitful. You're supposed to pull people into the truth. How could you do that if you're not rooted? That's why, you understand, what's always been said and what's always been passed down is the best trooper is the best general was the best trooper.
Right.
You can't skip no steps. You understand? So if you're a trooper, you want to read the best. You understand? Like if you're a trooper, you want to know that Bible in and out. You want somebody to call a scripture, you can get there in 2 seconds. You understand? You want to come in all black. We say all black, we don't mean a Nike check.
Right.
We don't mean a little Puma symbol.
Right.
None of that. Are you laughing because you understand? It happens.
Yeah.
But once again, that's the Valley of Dry Bones. Valley of Dry Bones is, you understand, you start off watching a YouTube video. Then you want to know where these brothers is at when they at camp. Now you go to the campsite. Then before you know it, you're in class physically. Then before you know it, you get an oil poured on your head. You got a Hebrew name. Now once you got a Hebrew name, you studying for your officer's test. And then before you know it, you keep growing and growing and growing and growing. You can't do that without getting rooted.
Right.
It ain't gonna matter. It ain't even gonna matter. Listen, you see them covers up top there? You understand what? 2016, 2014, 2018, 2016, 2000. A lot of people dropped out of 2016. You understand? You see all them jackets up there, or Slacky, all them covers up there. Them is all the brothers that grew amongst the thorns.
Right.
That's who every single one of them is. Them is all the brothers who fell weak, and the world crushed them out because they were too weak to endure. You understand? They didn't have enough soldier in them to say Khan out of one Khan, but they gonna go to their slavery. Oh, you want me to go to here today? Yes, sir. You want me to do this? Yes, sir. Oh, the paycheck's late? No problem. You ain't gonna have no problem. You understand? Because really, you serve yourself. You'll work for a check. You won't serve your brothers in Christ. You won't serve brothers in the body.
Right.
You understand? Because your priorities is twisted. You understand? Somebody will turn around and say, oh, man, I have a problem saying sir. You're going to say it to a police officer.
Right.
You're going to say it to your supervisor. Listen, I see the valet. I say, thank you, sir. You understand? Can't have no pride like that. So somebody make a sandwich at the deli for me. I say, thank you, sir. Telling me I can't show a courtesy to my brothers?
Right.
What are we even talking about here? Never mind a man who's taking time out of his day to teach me, who put 10, 15, 20 years inside this truth, you understand, in order to change brothers' lives. You can't give him an honorable title.
Right.
Maybe you got something sick inside you that just wants to separate you from your brothers. You understand? Maybe you're not a soldier. You know what you should do? Just pay your tithes.
Right.
Pay your tithes, come to the cookout. We'll feed you. Don't sweat. But support the brothers in here that actually love each other. Any more on that? You understand? Drop that. Matter of fact, while we on that topic, give me Proverbs 3:11. When you got it.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11.
Yep.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. You understand? Meaning what? Despise not correction. Some people can't take a checking. You understand? There's some half a LGBT member, you know what I'm saying, that he left the truth because he couldn't handle a checking. I think he got some disciplinary action or something like that, was told to do some push-ups, and that brother ran to the first Israelite group that'll let him get high. You know what I'm saying? Ran for the hills, ran for his damn life. You understand? Because he could not take correction. Correction is love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I hear some of it, like and every piece of correction I've gotten in here made me a better person. Now, some things are a little bit more difficult. You know, like the scripture says, like, you find gold. You know how gold is made pure? Who knows?
It's refined.
How is it refined?
Fire.
With fire. You get put in fire. You think it's gonna feel pleasant? You're gonna have to have impurities burned out of you. Not everything in here is going to be pleasant. You understand? Like, imagine if you were a heroin addict. You know what it's going to take for you to beat those withdrawals? Sleepless nights, nausea, can't eat.
Right.
You understand? Now, imagine whatever it is that you're addicted to, the withdrawals you have, the personality flaws, the things you had to do to survive inside the world. You can't bring that in here and offend each other. You understand? You can't bring, you understand, those impurities into a pure place. They have to get burned out. And it's going to get burned out. It's going to get burned out in counsel. You understand? It's going to get burned out, you understand, through teaching. It's going to get burned out through a trial by fire. That's what's going to happen. And some people are not going to be able to bear that pain. So, some people are going to be so selfish that they would rather leave than become better.
Right.
Like here's the truth, right? The truth is, you're not okay how you are. You're not. You are unacceptable how you are. You have to change. You have to become better. We all have to become better. We all have to go through those trials. And the whole point is to find out who's worthy or not. Who's deserving of it or not. Who should make it to that city with all those great things. And some people would rather jump in that fire. Some people would rather fall in that water. Some people would rather try to turn around and go back and try to see if there's a different path that's going to be easier. You understand? That's going to be more delicate to their weakness and their frailties, to their impurities. Any more on that?
Neither be weary of his correction.
You understand? Neither be weary of his correction. The Lord chastises whom he loves. See, like, if you leave the truth and nothing happens to you, the Lord don't love you. You understand? Like if you leave the truth and then, you know, you get inheritance and start a business and buy condos and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just life is beautiful. I know the Lord does not love you. And you're going to think that all those things are blessings and that you're such an amazing person. If you leave the truth and your life is in shambles, your health is affected, your ribs health is affected, you understand, you're losing your job, you get hit by a car, you understand, like, the Lord loves you.
Right.
He's trying to tell you something. Like, misfortune is coming your way to let you know, I'm doing this to you. You got to be spiritual to understand that. If nothing happens to you, you're going to be deceived by your own lust. You're going to be deceived by your own vanity. And that's horrifying. That's the worst thing that could happen to you, is nothing when you leave this truth. Because now you're never going to learn. You're never going to have a reason to turn around. And I've seen it happen to brothers. And those brothers, when they do decide to come back, or sisters rather, they're received. I know a brother, he hit me up and he's like, I tried to just do it on my own and I can't. And I respect that. I respect and accept that, because you were able to look at the error of your ways. You were able to be spiritual enough to say, the Lord's blocking this path. It's clear we need each other. I need to come back home. A just man falls 7 times and gets up 8. Right. Now, you should never want to fall. Right. You understand? But don't give Satan the wiggle room to come in your mind and put the shame on you as if you can't come back, to put the pride on you that you can't swallow. You understand? To humble yourself to return. That's what Satan's going to do. Satan's going to be like, they're not going to mess with me, or they going to do this, or they going to do that. Nah. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get tough love till you come back. Once you come back, you're going to be received. Once you know what I'm saying? It's like you're supposed to celebrate because your brother was once dead and is now alive. Right. It's a celebration. It's like, welcome back, Goofy. You ready? I know. It's all good. No doubt. You should work that. Let's get it. Because, remember what we went over last week in Philmon. You understand? That brother, they threw him out. You understand? But the brother changed and he was able to come back. He was able to return. He was able to become solid. He was able to become fruitful and profitable to the work of the Lord. That's what you want to be. Drop that. Give me Hebrews 12:4, Baba Kasha.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 4. Ye have not resisted unto blood.
You have what?
Not yet resisted unto blood.
You understand? You ain't, like, brothers be sitting there crying about the truth. You ain't resisted unto blood. Who came to try to stone you? Huh? Who came and arrested you to charge you with capital punishment? Nobody? What kind of problems you got? Good.
Striving against sin.
Striving against what?
Sin.
Good.
And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children.
Good.
My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord.
Despise not the chastening of the Lord. You understand? And it's like, I know the Lord love me because I do something wrong, instantly something happens. My windshield crack, I stub my toe.
Right.
You understand? Something happens instantly that I'm like, let me revamp. Right. Let me chill. You understand? Or something. You understand? And here's the other thing. I'll give y'all one free gem. Even if I don't understand it, I'm smart enough to know General Muhammad knows more than me. Right. Even if I can't see it or comprehend it directly, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to fight the urge to say, I'm right, he's wrong. And I will repeatedly run this scenario through my mind until I see it his way. And once I do, it's like the light bulb comes on. It's like, how did I not see that before? What was preventing me from seeing that? Because I'm going to trust somebody with 30 years plus experience, you understand, got more than me. You understand? And that's the problem. Sometimes we don't want to see the impurities in ourselves. Sometimes we don't want to see those things because those things became a part of who we were in survival mode. It's how we survive going along, but we're not here to survive. We're here to live. You understand? Like we ain't here to be on the same BS that we was on before. I'm trying to tell you, man, like, counsel will save your life. A checking will save your life. Correction will save your life. And you got to turn around and say, okay, if I really believe this is a man of God, if I really believe this person is spiritual, and you cannot hide things from spiritual men, maybe I should sit there and reevaluate and say, maybe they see something I can't, and just sit back and try to wait until it comes. Because guess what? The disciples didn't know everything Yahushua was talking about neither. You know how many times he had to check them? I mean, Peter was who he said he was going to build the foundation of the church on. You understand? He was going to leave the truth in his hands. And he said, "Get behind me, Satan." I think that was a kind thing to say. Yeah, I wish I was giving out check-ins left and right. That's how you get demons off you. You understand? You start to recognize a demon when somebody tells you that's a demon on you. Now you got to turn around and say, well, what is it that he sees on me? And then now you start to catch it. Once you start to see what it is, you can battle that feeling or change that behavior inside yourself. That's how you endure. Do you understand? And all of that is a part of brotherhood, because all of that is how we're going to be able to function together, that we're going to be able to stay together, that you don't go off and create some break-off group that you just going to get shot next week on the corner because the Lord is not with you.
Right.
Read on.
Nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
You understand? Nor faint when you're rebuked of him. And that rebuking can come from a man of God, or it could come directly from the Lord, which is horrifying. You understand? I'm trying to tell you, do something wrong, just turn yourself in. Real talk. Let the Lord have some mercy on you. Trying to tell you. Good?
For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
Because whom the Lord loveth, he chasten. Some of y'all, you better question if the Lord loves you or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you left One West, you left the ISUPK, and nothing happened to you? Yikes. Drop that. Give me James 1:13.
Come.
James chapter 1 and verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God.
You can't blame the Lord for your weakness. You can't blame the Lord for your infirmities. You can't say when you tempted, you understand, the Lord tempted me. Good?
For God cannot be tempted with evil.
God can't be tempted with evil. The Most High can't be. You think you could tempt the Most? What could you possibly offer the Lord? What do you think he needs? You think he needs money? You don't need money. What is it that you can do with somebody who creates the universe? What do you think you're gonna barter? Good.
Neither tempteth he any man.
Neither he tempteth he any man. Go ahead.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
That's inside of you. You're drawn away by your own lust. You're drawn away by your own desires. You want to do your own will. It ain't got nothing to do with the Lord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't turn around and say, "Oh, you understand the Most High did this. Oh, that's the Most High's will." The Most High's will is obey me. You understand? Anything outside of that is you. That's you, Chief. You understand? Take responsibility for your own actions. And that's why it's like, one of the things that kept me in the truth is once I established that this was the home of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Once I got past, the searching, once I got past looking at, you know what I'm saying, where I was going to pledge my fealty to. Like once I said, this is where I'm swearing my oath, I stopped looking for flaws in the school and started looking for flaws in myself. And if you're going to sit there and try to put this on the Lord, you're trying to take the responsibility off of you. If you're going to try to put this on anyone else, like a wicked man is going to blame everybody else. A righteous man is going to look at it at himself and say, how did I fail? Like, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like even and I've gotten like checked on, like if a brother like left in a zone that I was in charge of, you know what I'm saying? I turn around and say, what could I have done to have made him stronger or be better? I look at myself in the mirror. And I say, this might be me. And then I gotta have, you understand, General Katham check me You understand? And turn around and say, nah, you understand? That's on him. That man made that decision. You know what I'm saying? And I got to turn around and say, Khan out of one Khan. You know what I'm saying? And I still go home and beat myself up. That's how you endure in here. You endure in here by trying to make yourself better every day. Like there's never a time where you should turn around and look at yourself and think, I know this. I understand this. I got this. I'm there. I've arrived. You've any of y'all on a chariot? You ain't go nowhere. You looking out that chamber and seeing America in flames, seeing Babylon burning. Where the hell you at? Still in hell. We ain't make it nowhere.
Right.
You ain't don't pseudo celebrate. Don't gas yourself up and play yourself. Where the hell you make it to? Barely make it to class.
Right.
There's 2 people in here right now. You understand? However many people online. Where the hell you make it to? Nowhere. We better wake the hell up. We better realize what time it is. You cannot turn around and charge everybody else. Blame your environment. Blame this, blame that. You think them excuses matter? Think anybody's gonna care? Can't make excuses like that. You can't put that on the Lord. Look at yourself. Look at yourself and say, how can I make myself better? And if you don't know, find somebody better than you. And that's what you got to realize. There's people that's better than you.
Right.
There's people that's better husbands than you. People that's better wives than you, sisters. There's people that's, you understand, just better people. They're better. And as a result, you understand, like if you want to be a better basketball player, what do you have to do?
Train.
You have to train. Now, can you just become the best training by yourself? You know what you need? Competition. You know what you need? Somebody better than you. Yo, go look at Mike Tyson before and after custom model. You need somebody who knows better than you to raise you. You can't do this on yourself. The disciples just raised themselves up. They had somebody who was better than them. Now, that's a hard pill to swallow. That's why some of y'all can't come in the truth, because you think you number one.
Right.
You think you know better. You know nothing as you ought to know. That's the problem. Like that's what I come across. The problem is everybody thinks they know something. I go in the damn bodega the other day, and while I'm in the bodega, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the cat, and out of nowhere, in the middle of the conversation, he says, "Yeah, but God's for everybody." I said, "No, he's not." He says, "I know something." I said, "That's the problem. You think you know." That's always going to be the problem. Everybody thinks they goddamn know something. And if you could humble yourself and realize you knew nothing, maybe you could learn.
Right.
Maybe you'd actually be able to receive the truth. Maybe you'd actually be able to look in the mirror and say, how am I going to make myself better today? What is it that I believe that I could still work on? You need to be in a perpetual state of trying to advance yourself and trying to advance the truth. You understand, if you want to say that there's something wrong with the school, fix it. And I don't mean change your protocol. I mean, if you feel like a camp video is not coming out fast enough, why don't you join the video department and put work in? Why don't you do that? This is how you make things better. You make things better by working. You don't make things better by trying to reinvent the wheel. You don't make things better by thinking you should be in charge. You know how you make things better in the school? Be a better servant. Follow directions better. Come to camp on time. You understand? Let's see, we've seen a brother come to camp with a bleach stains on his shirt. I said, brother, you go on a date like that? You know damn well, you understand, if it was for some cat, you would not be coming dressed like that. You won't come dressed like that for the Lord, though, because this ain't important to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all want to spend more time in a damn studio. You know what I'm saying? Than you do at camp. Man, later for that. I built my life around Saturdays. I built my life around the Sabbath, and I work on the Sabbath. You understand me? You know where I'm at? I'm on 125th Street. I'm in downtown Crossing. I'm in Times Square doing the work of the Lord. You think we get a day off as priests? That's for the civilians. Y'all get the luxury. Y'all get the Shabbat Shalom, family. That's what y'all do. You know what we did? We fed over 100 people in Harlem on Saturday. That's what we did.
That's right.
You understand? Is there more on that? Good.
Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Then when what?
Lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
And now it bringeth forth sin. You understand? Because now you couldn't take the correction. Now you couldn't charge yourself. Now you couldn't be at fault. You understand? Now you in sin. Now you getting real close, you understand, to the Lord destroying you. Drop that. Give me Galatians 5 and 17.
Galatians 5 and 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
For the what?
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
Like, you're going to constantly be at battle with your flesh, man. Like, your spirit and your battle is going to constantly be going back and forth. Good?
And the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other.
These are directly contrary one to the other. Like a simple example would be fasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fast, your flesh wants water. You understand? But you're trying to discipline your soul. You're trying to afflict yourself. You're trying to make yourself become stronger. You understand? And don't you understand? Fast for nothing. You understand? Like, you need to fast with a purpose. And it's not only food. You know, it could be social media. You understand? It could be like whatever you feel as though is distracting you or pulling you away. That's what you need to fast from. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to separate yourself from. Give you some time to recalibrate yourself and focus on your actual priorities. And the truth should be your number one priority at all times. With no matter what it is that you have going on in your life. Like I told you, I built my life around camp. My entire life is built around, you understand, making sure that we can go out on a Saturday. I don't care what it is. I am available. Read on.
So that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication.
Meaning, like adultery is something that burns inside your flesh. You got a desire to sleep with another man's wife. You understand? Like, this is something you're going to have to battle inside your flesh, battle inside your mind. You know what I'm saying? Going to the strip club, watching pornography. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that's inside your flesh that you have to fight, that you have to battle, that is contrary to your soul. Good?
Uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry.
Uncleanness, eating pork. You understand? All different matter. I mean, even making yourself sure that you're clean for class or for camp. Run it back.
Uncleanness, lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness. You know what lasciviousness is? What they did at Pride over the weekend. That's lasciviousness. I done seen some people share some videos like it was a freak fest. You understand? If they weren't fighting, if they weren't twerking. I seen some, can I say dyke? No? Bulldagger? Lesbian? I can't say anything. Some woman who is attracted to another woman who looks very masculine. That's a lot to say. Well, I seen one of those. Fighting. Stop fighting, start twerking, and then start fighting again. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Those are the videos that's being shared all over the internet right now. Like just viral clips. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's insane. Right. That's lasciviousness. It's like riotousness. That's like partying onto sin. Good?
Idolatry. Witchcraft.
Slow down. Idolatry. You understand? People can't wait to just worship an idol. You know why? Because the idol don't correct you. The idol does not dictate things. The idol cannot chastise you. It's very easy to serve. Next.
Witchcraft.
You understand? Like you are a drug dealer. You are a witch. You understand? Like, and you out here selling crystals, thinking that they're gonna change people's lives. You are a witch.
Right.
Like, you want to think about what the sin of witchcraft is. Witchcraft is a hustle. Yo, you ever notice all the people that love crystals and rocks and sage the most are the ones that sell it? You think that's a coincidence? Because the sin of witchcraft is giving people false hope for money. It's charging people in something that's contrary to actually helping them and changing their life. You understand? And in giving them this sense of relief from their troubles, from their problems, as if life is going to be better now. Y'all ready to blame all the misfortune in your life on Mercury's retrograde. You get what I'm saying? Like, insane. Maybe it's the fact that you spent your last $10 on weed instead of a Little Caesar's pizza because you were hungry. It wasn't retrograde. It was your decision making. It was your priorities. It was your drug habit. It was your lust in a partner who is contrary to you. Read on.
Hatred. Variance.
Good. Variance, being at odds. You understand and even with hatred, man. Let me explain something to you. There is, and this is what y'all need to understand. First of all, hatred is an action. Right. Hatred is not a feeling. Hatred is not saying like hate in this context is not saying that the white man is the oppressor, bringing up the crimes. Hate is an action. Hate is that young woman who is attracted to another woman who looks like a man beating on people in the middle of the street. That was hate. That was variance. Variance is to be at odds with somebody. These are physical actions. Everything that we're talking about is not a thought. It's not an idea. It's an action. It's something that you do, something that is pertained inside of your flesh, that you have to battle, that you have to change. Good.
Emulations.
Good.
Wrath. Strife. Seditions. Heresies,
man. You understand? Like, y'all just can't wait to make up a doctrine.
Right.
Oh my God, I be messing. I'm talking to this sister, and she telling me, pants is a sin, and then over time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, where the hell did you learn this from? Like, y'all learned this from some fake Israelite group that's gonna start a whole religion around pants. So now the other day she goes and she buys a pair of pants. So I messed with her. I'm like, you'll burn for this. Joking, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, says you could wear pants. You're not going to hell for pants. Unless you want to turn around and say Young M.A. Young M.A. is sinning when she wears pants. Because she's wearing pants trying to look like a man. Right. She's not wearing, she didn't go to Foxy Lady for those. Right. You know what I'm saying? She went to where'd she go?
Jimmy Jazz.
She went to Jimmy Jazz. You know what I'm saying? Bought a basketball jersey from Champs, cocked a fitted cap backwards and said, "What up, bruh?" That's a sin, because now you're confusing your gender.
Right.
And there's only two genders.
That's right.
Said God created them male and female, created he them. Ain't no other gender. Yo, you know what's mad funny? Do you know non-binary in Spanish is either male or female? So when you say non-binary, it's either got an A or an O at the end. It just defeats the entire thought process. Read on.
Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
And you cannot inherit that kingdom that we started off in the beginning, right? Where you have to walk that narrow path, where there's fire and water on the other side. These are the things that put you in that fire and that water. Idolatry, lasciviousness, all the different lusts of the world that you have to constantly battle inside of your flesh. Those are the things that are going to eventually get you done in, which is why you got to stay locked in, which is why nobody can do this on their own. Like how you love your brother as yourself by yourself. That's why like individualites blow my mind. Like listen, I'm all for the notion of, you know, like I was extremely against organized religion. You know what I'm saying? Like completely against it. And I understand being weary of where you would pledge your loyalty to. You know what I'm saying? But we have to gather together, yea, O nation not desired. So if you're going to be searching for a home, you know what I'm saying? You can't do what I hear so many. Like I remember I asked a question in a room one time, and I said, where's the body of Christ? And one person gave me like the Nicodemus answer. One person gave me the in heaven next to the Father. I'm like, I ain't talking about his physical body, Goofy. And I didn't call him a goofy, but in my head, I was like, you a goof. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like such like a yuck answer. Like it was crazy to me. And I'm like, I'm talking about the body of Christ as far as where we're supposed to be gathering ourselves. Where is it? I don't know. It's in the camps. Oh, it's in the camps. Okay. Which camp? Which like if I knew nothing, if I wasn't, you know, Captain Katazar, I didn't have 10 plus years, a decade in this, and I'm just a babe, young in the truth, just found out I'm an Israelite, and I came in this, you know, wonderful clubhouse room, and I said, how do I find the body of Christ? Where would you send me? One person comes off mic and says, I would tell you go to the nearest Israelite group to you. So I said, what if it was GMS? You're going to send me to GMS? No, brother, I wouldn't send you there. Well, that's the closest. What if it was Sakari? No, I wouldn't send you there either. So how is the body of Christ in all the camps? If I just named two that you wouldn't send me to. What if it was GOCC? No, you wouldn't send me there either. So if the point is to be in the body of Christ, why can't you tell me where it is? Why can't you tell me how to get home? So you mean to tell me none of you can guide me home? I should leave this room right now. Because clearly this isn't the stop. Because the truth is somewhere you're supposed to go and stay. Is it not? Like you mean to tell me you're supposed to leave the truth? I don't think so. Well, then where is it? Where's the home of it? How do I find my way home? If you can't tell me that, you're unqualified. Why would I talk to you? You're clearly not qualified for the position to be a leader or a representative of Christ. You get what I'm saying? Because this is what I know. Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am of Christ. He said, it's right here. He didn't say, find what's around you. Go. That's the problem. Y'all want convenience. You know what I'm saying? You know why there's so few people in class right now? It's inconvenient to travel here. That's why. You know what's convenient? Logging into an app. Boop. I get to listen now. That's real convenient. You know what's inconvenient? Put on all black. You know what's inconvenient? You cannot teach yet. You know what's inconvenient? Be there at 10 a.m. It's inconvenient. Y'all want convenience. You want comfort. You want the truth on your terms. You want to just do your own will. That's why. And sidebar, here's what was even crazier. The room I was in, the person who was in charge of the room was in 5 Israelite groups and then said, I'm so tired of the lack of unity. I said, nigga. Like, what? You're the cause of the division. You divided 5 times. You're sick of the division. You didn't stay with anybody. I couldn't believe it. Oh, I'm so tired of why aren't we together? Who are you with? Oh, brother, I'm by myself. You're divided. Why is there all this division in Israel? How many Israelite groups you been in? Well, first I was over here, and then I was over there, and then I did 3 Passovers with this group, and now... Oh, okay. Stop talking to me. Stay away from me. You're a hypocrite.
Right.
You don't understand the truth. The truth, you want the truth to be whatever you make it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it. Let me say one more thing. This is what blows my mind. I want you to just feel this for a second. This is I don't even, it blows my mind. Picture 2 brothers being in the same quote unquote camp, right? They get into an argument. One of them goes and starts another camp. Those 2 are best friends now. And wait. They do unity camps together. If y'all still go to camp together, why couldn't y'all be under the same banner? Right. And now you want to tell me y'all got the truth? I thought the truth was for us to be together. This, you know what the name of this class is? Brotherhood in Unity. Do you know what brothers do? They work out their issues amongst each other so that they don't have to divide and separate, so that they can be one. Isn't that how you work towards the same goal? Isn't that how this thing works? It blows my mind. We got any questions online? Let me know if we got any questions in the chat. If y'all got any questions on Clubhouse, y'all could either raise your hand or put them in the chat. Anything? Asa Jones, shalom. I just seen your comment.
Right, yeah, so Judas Redemption said, Israelite Christian.
Oh, Most High in Christ, Phineas.
Could that be a thing?
Good. You said what?
Judas Redemption said Israelite Christian.
Judas Redemption said Israelite Christian. Could that be a thing? All right, let me give you some context here, right? In the UPK, we treat a lot of people who believe they're Israelites, we say that they're still Christian. But like, for example, if an Israelite believed in water baptism or interracial marriage,
Right.
those are Christian concepts. That man just knows he's an Israelite, but his spirit is still attached to Christianity, thinking God loves everybody. Now, realistically, we would really be the real Christians, meaning in antiquity, Christians were those in the truth who followed Christ. Because the Catholic Church hijacked the real church and they took it over and changed the doctrine and mutated it into what you see today, we do not call ourselves Christians because of the negative stigmatism that's on it today. And when you read it, it doesn't say, and so all Christians shall be saved. It says all Israel shall be saved. It says my heart's desire is not for Christians. It says my heart's desire is for Israel. You understand? So we are Israelites, and we remove ourselves from the negative stigmatism of being Christian. You understand? So if an Israelite is calling another Israelite a Christian, it's in a negative connotation. It's saying you're not really in the truth. It's saying you have not freed yourself from the bonds and chains of Christianity. All right. Any other questions? Good.
Okay. Officer Yashawami Ala Salakia, sir, do you have any scriptures on being more responsible?
Scriptures on being more responsible. Responsible in what manner? Can you give me a little bit more context to what do you want to be responsible over? Brother said he wants to come back, man, and then bring your ass on. Don't talk about it. Let me see you be about it. You know what I'm saying? You know it's funny too. I was gonna wear the shirt today. Shout out to my brother Madabar. You understand? Down in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Brother always send me and Captain Zaryak a fly shirt. You know what I'm saying? And you know what it always says on the back? Boot up or shut up. That's it. It's about action. The kingdom of heaven cometh not with observation. You got to work. Where's your resume? What do you want to do? Don't let Satan shame you into believing that you can't come back, that you can't come home. You could always come back, but you got to be able to beat your demons. You got to be able to beat your lust. You got to be able to beat the shame that Satan's trying to put inside your mind to believe that you can't or you would be rejected. All right. What else we got?
So we got CM3 Banjuda asks how to explain to your friend when to observe the Passover.
This is what you do. You want to know when to observe the Passover? You go to isupk.com and you click calendar, and there's going to be a calendar with all the high holy days, and you're going to see the dates and how they're celebrated. That's how you do it. You understand? We're supposed to keep the Passover together. Good.
Officer Yashua Miala, answer your question. He wants to know how.
Most High in Christ, the car. He wants to know what?
How to be more responsible in making wise choices.
In making wiser choices. It's still a little vague and ambiguous. You understand? It sounds like you need seasoning. You understand? Give me Hebrews 5 and 12.
Hebrews 5 and verse 12. For the time ye ought to be teachers.
For when the time ye ought to be teachers. If you're a teacher, you know how to make decisions. If you're a teacher, you're responsible. Good.
You have need that one teach you again.
You have need that one teach you again. You want to know how to make wise decisions. You need to be around wise men. Good.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
That's the first principles of the oracles of God. The oracles of God is where you get this passed down. It's where you learn from. It's where you get your understanding from. That's the first thing. You understand? You want to be wise? You find somebody wiser than you. Good.
And are become such as have need of milk.
Oh, in need of what?
Milk.
Good.
And not of strong meat.
And not of strong meat. Good.
For everyone that uses milk.
Like you think you know something because you learned the John 3:16 breakdown? That's milk.
Right.
You think you know something because you know some color scriptures? That's milk. It's baby talk. Good?
Is unskillful in the word of righteousness.
You unskillful in the word of righteousness. Go ahead.
For he is a babe.
He's a what?
Babe.
Good.
But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age.
Good.
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised.
Their what?
Their senses exercised.
It sounds like you need to have your senses exercised. When you exercise something, you make it stronger. You understand? Like you go to the gym, you exercise to get stronger. And you don't get stronger lifting the same weight, doing the same amount of reps. You get stronger by doing more. Go ahead.
To discern both good and evil.
To be able to discern good and evil. To know to make wiser decisions. You understand? You know how you do that? Show up.
Right.
You know how I learned how to be able to handle certain situations. Like the scripture says, like if you find a man of understanding, wear ye out his doorstep. You know what I do? Salakia, sir. Shalom. Yusha barakatah. Quick question. And I'm going to turn around and absorb every drop that I can. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all be afraid to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Like I turn around. Hey, Salaki Cap, I saw you say such and such and such. Why did you say that? Why didn't you? In my mind, I would have did this. Why did you do that? And then I get the mysteries. You understand? Because I wasn't afraid to ask. I wanted understanding. I see you know more than me. You're in this position. Okay. I want to understand. I don't even want the position. I just want to know what to do if the situation arises. So I'm going to ask. I'm going to observe. I'm going to pay attention. And I'm going to ask questions. So that's what you got to do. Call for counsel. Ask questions. Show up. I see a question. Is there a class on ordering your household as a husband/father? That's not like just one class. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, having your household in order is, some people have a knack for it. Some people will have to learn it. Some people will have to have instruction. You know what I'm saying? And every class that we have is about bettering yourself. Every class is about adding on to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to be a better husband or a father, the first thing that you have to do is be a servant of the Most High. You gotta know the basics. You gotta know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? Then from there, you need a father. You understand? Like I became a better father because I followed my father's instructions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had a father correct me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a time where I was with my son and a general observed something I said to him. I think I lost patience with him at the time. This was years ago. And the general pulled me to the side and said, XYZ, you know what I'm saying? Blase, blase. And now moving forward, I never did that again. Because I was around someone who was a father who was able to correct me, to make me a better father. So it's not going to be one class. It's not going to be like I could like that's the problem. Like you can't just go to YouTube and become an elder, become a leader. Right. You need practical application. You need somebody who's around you, somebody who learns you, somebody who knows you, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you need to fortify. All right. Any other questions?
La, sir.
All right. Give me Ephesians 6 and 11. Got a couple more scriptures on topic.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities.
You understand? Like, you gotta, like, here's like two things, you know what I'm saying, that helped me when I was young in the truth. One of the brothers who raised me up, Captain Shawaya Allah, when he said, he would always say, take good notes and everything is spiritual. So I forgot I had this term. I took good notes. I got every topic in here imaginable. I got the numbers on the top of the page. You flip to the back, it's going to tell you what topic is on every page. I got my little ledger. You know what I'm saying? I took excellent notes. And I look at everything spiritual. I look at things like, what is happening in this moment? Is this judgment? You know what I'm saying? Is this a teaching opportunity? Is this a test? Is this a trial? Am I in a storm right now? Do I have to weather this storm, or, you know, what is this turbulence? What's going on? Because you got to understand that there's principalities around you. Like, the number one and two things that's always trying to happen is like, is this trying to kill me, or is this trying to get me in jail? Boom, off the rip. That's usually what it is. If it's with your rib, is this trying to get us to divorce? Is this trying to put a rift between us? Is this trying to hurt my son? You get what I'm saying? Is this trying to separate me from my children? You got to weigh everything out to understand what principality it is that you're battling. You got to put on the full armor of God. Meaning, you got to prepare for battle. Everything in life is warfare. Like, this shit ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't, like once again, the truth is not a lucky rabbit's foot. You don't come inside here and just like, this is what makes me sick. When people turn around and say things like I want to be happy. Like, imagine if I said, I want to be sad. You know how goofy that sounds? I want to be jealous. You don't want to be any of the negative things, do you? Nah, we're not going to be none of the negative things. We want to be happy, which this is what you want. You don't want struggle. You want to avoid misery, suffering, and sacrifice. You get what I'm saying? Like, happiness is not an achievable goal. Happiness is a temporary state of being. It's an emotion. Just like sadness, just like anger, just like, you know, insert any emotion that's out there. It's literally something that's temporary. So happiness is not something that is achievable. You know what I'm saying? Peace is something that's achievable, but it's also something that isn't always necessarily going to be maintained. What you have to do is control yourself. You have to control your spirit. You can't control everything that's around you. You can control your reaction to the things that's around you. And that's what's going to bring you the peace that you desire. But sometimes you have to go to war to find peace. And that's why you have to put on the entire armor. You understand? Because if you don't put on the entire armor, you know what that means? Arrows could penetrate. A sword could penetrate. Now you cut, now you wounded. Now you run around bleeding out. Because you're going to be in a battle. There's going to be skirmishes. There's going to be warfare. And if you ain't prepared for that, if you ain't well equipped, you're going to be jacked up. You're going to be limping to the finish line. Right. So you want to be prepared, and you want to not go to your base instinct to just be carnal. You want to weigh everything. There's going to be a time where you have to match aggression. And you know what else there's going to be? A time to de-escalate. You want to be well within yourself to know the difference between the two times. You want to be seasoned enough to understand when it is for you to be cool and when it is for you to turn up. You know who's excellent at that? Captain Nazariak. Captain Nazariak is an excellent judge when it comes down to temperance. You understand? Excellent when it comes down to, we gonna burn this thing down, or you know what I'm saying, or we're going to, de-escalate and find a way to peacefully resolve this. Is it cross the fucking line? You understand? Or is it, brother, what's really going on? But you're never going to be able to achieve that. You're never going to be able to endure if you're not built for the battle. And the day that you realize like everything in life is warfare, like, yo, don't let this society fool you like shit's sweet out here. You know what I mean? Like do y'all like watch Animal Planet or something? Like, have you ever seen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like go watch. I seen an anaconda eat a alligator the other day, or a crocodile or something the other day. Like, bro, like we live in a very hostile environment. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't sweet out here. Yo, go look up early execution methods. Yo, they had something that was like this wheel, and they would put you on the wheel and roll the wheel and break your bones.
They use that on brothers here in New York.
In New York, that torture wheel was a method of capital punishment inside New York. You're right. I went and looked up methods of capital punishment. And brother, they are horrible. Like, the electric chair is not humane. You get what I'm saying? Like I think the most humane method I've seen of dying is the firing squad. Real talk. Just put a bullet in my head and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they had this joint that was a bull that was made out of brass. And they would put you in the bull and then light underneath on fire. Imagine being inside metal and it's just heating up. You understand? Like, y'all talking about that damn submersible. Yo, they died instantaneously. They died before they even knew that they died. Yo, you can look this up. You know what happens like when something implodes? Like, you know what I'm saying, at 375 times atmospheric pressure? Yo, here's first of all, before it even directly starts to implode, the air inside the sub heats up to about 10,000 degrees. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fire, it's just pure heat. So now everything inside of there gets turned into goo inside of like a millisecond. Literally a millisecond. It takes 30 milliseconds for pain to actually register in your nervous system. And this happened in a fraction of a millisecond, which means they were goo before their pain receptors in their eyes could even realize it. Then everything crushes inside, implodes, which means that air and everything inside starts shooting out into the crevices, which means that that plasma that they were turned into shoots out of every crevice inside the device before it implodes and then separates. Sounds horrifying, right? That's not how how our oppressor killed people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what they did during the witch trials? They would take a woman and they would tie her to this joint and then dunk her in the water, you know what I'm saying? Until she admitted she was a witch or she drowned. And then if she admitted she was a witch, they drown her. You know what I'm saying? Burn you at the stake. Like, yeah, matter of fact, y'all ever see Braveheart? William Wallace, Benjamin Wallace, who was a brother, by the way. If y'all ain't know, that was a black man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because Rob the Bruce was a black man. Like, when you go and you look at what it means to be weighted and quartered, you know what I'm saying? Like, first they choke you out so that you're like in a state of being alive. You know what I'm saying? Then they cut your stomach open with a dull blade. And while you're alive, they pull out your intestines. Then they chop your legs off and your arms off. Then they drag you by horseback. Then they take your head. You feel all of that until you die. That's the place that we live in. Now, how many of y'all still think shit's sweet? How many of y'all don't know what time it is? How many of y'all don't understand the wrath of the Most High? How many of y'all don't understand the predicament that you could be in if you choose death? They got it easy in that damn submersible. They didn't even know they died. You understand? Now, everything I just said was carnal. Now apply that to spiritual warfare. You think it's just going to be easy? If that's the type of things that's in nature, if that's the type of things that's in the devices of men in their flesh to concoct on how to kill one another, now imagine what Satan could do in the spirit. Imagine what your spiritual adversary is going to do to test you. Y'all better wisen up and look what's around you. And that's why you put on the entire armor of God. All right. Any other questions? I don't see any questions on Clubhouse. No questions in the chat? All right. Get me 1 Peter 1:13. I look things like that up just to stay sharp. Like I look things like that up just so I don't get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. That was an exact method of capital punishment in New York. It's crazy. Yo, even hanging sucks. If they don't do that right and your neck don't snap, what? Sucks. And not even gonna say, but even in the Bible, like they bury you up to your neck and throw rocks at your head.
Right. That sucks.
Yo, don't sin, y'all. like straight up and down. Don't play with the Lord. Keep thinking it's a joke. All right. What else we got? Read what you got.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
Gird up the what?
The loins of your mind.
You need to have a strong mind to endure. Why? Because you're going to have battles in your mind. You understand? You're going to have people that are going to try to plant seeds of dissension among you. You're going to have people that, you understand, like I said earlier, remember what we were talking about with the seeds that was sown on the stony ground? Persecution. And a lot of that's going to be mental. Like I said, and here's something else too. If you a young man, you understand, and you got Satan trying you in the form of someone coming up to you and saying, you don't really believe this, do you? It's because you're not rooted yet. It's because predators, once again, you know what I'm saying? When you watching Animal Planet, if you watching cheetahs or lions hunt, which animal do they go for in the herd? They go for the strongest one in the front? Nah, they go for the one in the back with the little bruised leg limping along, or maybe got separated a little bit from the herd in order to pounce on the one that's going to give you the least resistance. That's what predators do. So what's Satan going to do? Satan's going to prey on the one that he believes is weak. You know what was one of the most proudest moments? I was at camp, right? And I'm talking to this brother, and he turned around to me and said, hey, man, let me talk to him. You a lost cause. And when he said that, it was like, yes, I am really brainwashed. Like he recognizes that I am immovable in this truth. I have now, you know what I'm saying, become a formidable force. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't to knock the other brother that I was with. You know what I'm saying? But I just took that as like one of the greatest compliments ever. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I've arrived somewhere. Now these demons ain't going to come and say, you really believe this? You goddamn right I believe this. I'm going to make you believe it too. And if not, kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be here. Who forcing you to be here right now? Nobody. So what you here for? To sow discord? You think this brother right here going to disagree with me? Ha! Ain't gonna happen. But that's how you know, like, you arrived. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know if you got to make yourself stronger. If you constantly have people questioning if you believe this in the street, brother, you better get rooted and fast. All right. Keep reading.
Be sober and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach.
Meaning, when Christ cracked that sky, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like that is what the goal is. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these other goals that we're doing is, you know, we're not just, you know, waiting around for the sky to crack. Kingdom of heaven cometh with observation. We're trying to make sure that when Christ returns, he got his army. That when Christ returned, he got his servants. He got a kingdom. He got reliable men. You understand, who can serve this nation. You understand? So now, as a result of that, you got to look at it like we're not looking for just civilians. We're looking for leaders in here who can take care of the civilians. We're looking for men inside here who are going to have organizational skills. You understand? Men inside here who are problem solvers. And that's another thing. You come inside here, it's not to cause problems. You understand? It's to dissolve them. That's what we do here. This ain't about causing problems and causing drama. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and here's another thing. If you see something going on and you don't report it, you must want to be the one to solve it. And if you're not, you're failing in your office. And if you're not strong enough to solve it, what should you do?
Get counsel.
Report it. You understand? But call. Pick up the phone.
Right.
I'll be scared to call. You understand? I think I'm going to say this every class. Call for counsel. Counsel will save your life. Or y'all could do it the hard way. Y'all might want to learn the hard way. I'm tired of learning the hard way. I done learned enough lessons the hard way. Anything I perceive that I could learn easier, I will. Read on.
As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lusts in your ignorance.
According to what?
The former lusts in your ignorance.
Now, what's your ignorance?
Before you came into the truth.
Before you came into the truth, before you knew better. Okay?
But as he which hath called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation.
You understand? Which means that you got to be locked in, man. All the way. You got to be able to endure, because here's the other thing. We need each other. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so few of us, man. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, we all have to recognize that every brother that's here, we got to treat like they special. We got to treat like, you understand? You got to treat like we have to actually be a family. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Always. It can't be like the world. It can't be like what it's like outside of these walls. And that's why these brothers in here love this place so much, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's why I remember being in the world, I didn't even talk to people like that. You know what I'm saying? It was very few people I would real life have conversations with. There's more people than I can count on both my hands in this truth. If I get on the phone with them, I'll be on the phone with them for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even knowing, not even being aware. Before you know, how about this? Yo, did you finish this? Yo, what about that? And then before you know it, you know what I'm saying? We having we figuring out time travel. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. And if ye call on the Father, who without respect of persons judgeth according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear.
Now, why would you pass the time of your sojourning here in fear?
Fear stops you from sinning.
This brother is on fire.
All right.
Shaw, I can't jam him up. I try every week. Every week, I try to ask a question, and it's like, I don't want you to fail. But he never.
Damn right.
This kid got it. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is because that fear is what's going to make you acknowledge your lust as that fire, as that deep water. It's going to make you acknowledge I'm stepping off the path. Because if you ain't afraid of it, what you going to do? You're going to embrace it. You're going to perform it. You're going to do it. So you have to be able to have that fear. That's why, like, I don't look at things in terms of righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Because all our righteousness is as filthy rags. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything good that I do means nothing. I try to look at things like, will this anger the Lord? That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, will this piss him off something fierce that he gonna have to chastise me? And then my eyes widen, and now you know what I'm saying. And now I know what decision that I have to make. You want to. That's it. You want to make wiser decisions. Fear the Lord. That's what you do. I want to make wiser decisions. Okay, if I do this, will the Lord be pleased with me, or will he be angry? He'll be angry. I should not do it. I don't know if he'll be angry. I'm not going to do it. I don't know what to do. Hey, shalom, sir. Salakia. I'm a little conflicted on something. And guess what? The person on the other end of the phone is going to know what to do. You understand? And now guess what? Now I know what to do. You know, like, I hear two voices in my head. I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you're conscious. Right. Like, when I'm making a decision, if I don't know the answer myself, I go to like two places. What would Captain Zaryak or what would General Mahayman tell me? And then based on conversations I've had with them, that voice will come inside my head and give me the instruction on what I need to do. And if I don't know or I can't hear it, I call them so their voice can tell me in that moment. That's like my Jiminy Cricket. That's, you know what I'm saying? As my conscience. That's how I, if I do not know, and eventually that'll shape how you move. Now you won't need to call because you already have the instruction on the situation. Or what they gave you is so practical, you can apply it in different situations. And like that, it'll save your life. Any other questions?
So we have a question from Francesca. I have Salaki, excuse me, Alawar. How can one get himself rooted in the truth or locked in?
You can get yourself rooted in the truth. Show up to class.
Right.
You understand? You want to get rooted? Show up. Call for counsel. Follow instructions. Take correction. You understand? That's how you get rooted. Like you don't get rooted by just watching. You get rooted by doing. You get rooted by absorbing this into yourself. Like, it's one thing to be in the truth. It's another thing to have the truth inside you. So, some of y'all are just here. You understand? It's like the people who just show up and sit inside these chairs. Like, you understand? Then they gone 2 weeks later. They're not in the truth. They showed up to the truth. They didn't have the truth inside them. That's why they left. Ask questions. Get answers. If you don't understand, ask again. Ask next week. Ask tomorrow. You understand? Show up. Now, the disciples didn't always understand. What did they do, though? They asked. What else did they do besides asking? You show up. You can't ask a question if you're not here. You have to show up. You want to get rooted? Show up. You want to get rooted? You gotta look at this like How do I advance? You know what I'm saying? How do I not become stagnant? How do I become profitable? How do I become fruitful? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't start as a fruit. You start as a seed. The seed grows into a plant, and then the fruit is produced. You got to grow. You understand? You got to become stronger. It's like you want to treat every class like it's the gym. I can't order anybody to be in every class. When I was a trooper, I was in class 7 days. 7 days a week. Because it's like the gym. Class is a spiritual, it's spiritual push-ups. It's spiritual bench pressing. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get stronger by doing less weight or the same weight. You know what I'm saying? Like you get stronger by putting more weight on, and the more classes and the more camps and the more you understand operations that you're a part of, the stronger you become. The more people you talk to, the more conversations you have, the more gems you get, the more that you're able to add all of that onto yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're first in the truth, you miss class, you feel depleted. Right. If there's not camp, you feel depleted. It's like being around each other recharges our spiritual battery. It comes a point where you go from needing the receptacle to becoming the power station. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're feeding other people. You hear what I'm saying? But that's a buildup. That's a gradual increase that comes with time and winters being stacked on top of each other. So you want to get rooted? Be in class next week. Be in class tomorrow. Be at the next lecture. Show up to the next event. Be at every high holy day. Or go get a purple shirt and bang a tambourine. I don't know. I believe it's 9 o'clock. With that, we pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shaw.
Clap it up for the class. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashwa. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, which will be the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, and any high holy day or feast or any ISUPK gathering or function, be sure to go to isupk.com or look on the back of your bulletin board for further information. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. And with that, Amadium, which means to stand. Man of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Man of Israel, Amadium Shabbat. Amadium, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Braktham.
Yajimatah, which means hands down, class is missed.
All right.